Good day. We are Group 9 and we will be presenting on colchicine as a candidate for the treatment of COVID-19. So first, a brief overview will be given towards the background and history of COVID-19 and colchicine. Moreover, the drug design, drug manufacturing, and the relationship between colchicine and COVID-19 will also be discussed. What is COVID-19? The coronavirus disease, or commonly known as nCoV or COVID-19, is a disease that is caused by a newly discovered strain of coronavirus called Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome Coronavirus 2, or SARS-CoV-2. The first reported cases of COVID-19 was in December 2019 in Wuhan, China, and later spread to different parts of the world, causing a big number of fatal cases and deaths. The numerous reported cases around the world became alarming, which led the World Health Organization, or WHO, to characterize the spreading of the virus as a pandemic on March 11, 2020. People infected will experience flu-like symptoms that will later develop into respiratory illnesses. With that said, scientists all around the globe are hurriedly trying to create a vaccine or a drug that can prevent the spread of the virus and treat the diseases that it may bring. Though there are various medicines that are currently being examined and are under clinical trials, there is still no FDA-approved treatment for COVID-19. As of October 1, 2020, we are now approaching 34.5 million COVID-19 cases, with slightly more than 1 million deaths and around 25.6 million recovered cases. Now, what is colchicine? Colchicine is an oral drug used to treat gout and familial Mediterranean fever, or FMF. It can also be used to prevent gout flares. It was first discovered in the year 1500 BCE, when it was derived from the autumn crocus plant and was first used as a reliever for joint pain. Through extensive testing and examination, it was observed to have antiviral and anti-inflammatory properties. Colchicine was officially approved by the FDA in 2009. Now that we know about the basics, let's find out about the structure of colchicine as well as its functional groups that are present. Based on its structure, it has a molecular formula of C22H25NO6, as it has 22 carbon atoms, 25 hydrogen atoms, a nitrogen atom, and 6 oxygen atoms. Its IUPAC name is N7S12310 tetramethoxy 9-oxo 6,7 dihydro 5H benzoaheptylene 7-il acetamide. In addition to this, it has 4 different kinds of functional groups. First, it has a secondary amide. It also has 4 methoxy or ethers, 3 aromatic ring groups or 5H benzoaheptylene, and an oxo group or ketone. Now, how is colchicine made? The seeds of the meadow saffron are extracted with boiling alcohol to obtain colchicine. Because of its solubility, it can be separated from accompanying substances. The extract is evaporated and the residue is mixed with water. The undissolved resins and fats are filtered off and the filtrate extracted with chloroform. After evaporation of the chloroform solution, the procedure is repeated with the residue. When the purity is sufficient, the colchicine crystallizes from the concentrated chloroform solutions as a chloroform complex. With all of that said, why is colchicine a candidate for the treatment of COVID-19? The coronavirus disease causes inflammation in the lungs and is expected to also cause inflammation to other areas it resides in. Therefore, it needs a drug that has anti-inflammatory properties. One of the many drugs that are on clinical trials conducted to fight the coronavirus disease is colchicine. According to studies, colchicine is a drug that is mainly used to treat gout and other body inflammations, so it is a candidate to treat inflammation caused by COVID-19. The ongoing study for it is called GRECO-19. However, there are no sufficient evidence that the drug can improve clinical outcomes for COVID-19 patients. Despite this, there was a study conducted by Lopez et al. Which evaluated the efficacy of adding colchicine to the standard treatment for moderate to severe COVID-19 patients. Such utilized a sample of 35 patients in which 17 were administered with colchicine and 18 comprised the placebo group. It was found that for the colchicine group, there was a reduction in the length of hospitalization as well as supplemental oxygen therapy. Additionally, less than half of the patients administered with colchicine ceased the usage of supplemental oxygen until the second day. While the results depict a promising potential, clinical trials must be conducted on a larger sample in order to strengthen the safety and effectiveness of colchicine as a supplementary treatment. In addition to this, colchicine is also less costly than other drugs. In conclusion, beyond the oral treatment of gout and FMF, the antiviral and anti-inflammatory properties of colchicine show immense promise in its potential to effectively treat COVID-19 patients, especially of those with moderate to severe cases. Hopefully, through careful and detailed clinical trials, colchicine will successfully find its role within the medical community in this fight against the pandemic. Once again, we are Group 9. Thank you for listening, and we hope you learned a thing or two.